So talk about, you guys also have an automated trading piece of it. Tell me a little bit about that, because you were just starting that last I used it again, and I closed my fund at the end of '06. So I haven't been actively trading stocks as I did, the decade before that.
Right. And that's where the full arc of our vision about the tool has taken us, where we started with, we started answering the question, what should I be trading today? Okay, well, here's a real-time scanning tool that finds the patterns, and that's what you should be trading. The next question we sought to answer was, okay, well, how should I trade it? And so we came up with a backtesting tool that lets you put in your trading plan. If I hold it for 10 minutes, if I hold it for 10 days, if I have a stop loss of X, if I only trade in the afternoon, or if I only trade in the morning. Those kind of trading plan questions get answered in our backtesting tool we call the Odds Maker. And quick side note, the reason why we call it the Odds Maker and the genesis of that idea and that product came from watching nothing else but ESPN poker. When you watch ESPN, they've got
87% to 13%. Yeah,
exactly. They keep changing depending on the cards.
Right.
And so we sat around over a lot of alcohol one day, and we're like, this would be the kind of stuff and information that a trader should have. I mean, it's illegal to have that in Vegas,
right.
But every trader should know what are the odds of, if I trade only in the first half hour of the trading day, this strategy, what's the success?
Right.
And that helps our other customers who don't trade all day to say, all right, what are the strategies that are working best in the morning? Because I don't want to wait all day for my return. I want it all in one shot, or I want it all in the time that I only have to give to the market.
Yeah, and that's an important. You bring up time frames. That's important, because I teach that all day. There are better times to trade than others, and especially and it's the same in equities. And it's the same in options, and it's the same in futures. You want to trade when the players are there, not when the grannies from Topeka and the drunk guys from LA have come to the table. I just don't want to be at those tables. Right. And so your technology really allows you to look at time frame, and time frame is important because, we talked about this off air a lot. A lot of people they're interested in investing and learning how to trade, but they don't have the time because they're working another job. So they come in during this time, the lunchtime, when they shouldn't be trading. And so maybe, people need to look at your tool if they can only devote time, try to match it to a system that works. And I think that's so key about your product.
That's right. I mean, we answer really powerful questions like that. If you're a caterer, for example, and you only have the lunch hour Eastern time to trade in, we'll help you find the strategies that are working well in that hour, or at least you'll test them and see, does this work? Does this not work? Right. Does fading, is a counter trend in the lunch hour actually working for me? Because all of this is based on the smile curve, right? We have strong volume in the beginning of the day, and then a little bit of strong volume at the end. In the middle, it just kind of dies down. But there are patterns and strategies that work in those low volatility, low volume times as well as the craziness of the open.
I agree. I mean, those become, that middle part of the day becomes a scalping time of the market, and you can just kind of play within the envelopes. Absolutely. So the automated trade that you were talking about.
Yeah, to finish that question, from the backtesting tool about, how I should trade it, we then moved into our third phase, which was, okay, given a pattern like, in this kind of market, selling short 30-day highs on light volume, for instance, and then trading that only in the morning. Mm-hmm. If all that works out to be a strategy with good odds, as our tool will provide, then let's go to the next logical step and let's automate that strategy. And so we've gone into more automation, but that requires a very broker versus broker specific solution because we have to be able to talk to their API that deals with the actual execution of trades, and every broker does it slightly different. So right now we have automated solutions with TD Ameritrade. We have an automated solution with SunGuard, Ascent, and we have an automated trading solution with Interactive Brokers, actually. So you could place your strategies that you create in trade ideas and that you've back-tested in the odds maker into a place like IB, and then auto-execute the results.
I was going to say, so in theory, the guy who is working that job that doesn't allow him to be around during those hours can still say, okay, here's a basket of stocks that I'm willing to test and trade on the Trade Ideas platform. I'm comfortable with the back test. I can just every morning say start, and if these things happen, buy or sell.
Right. And there's all sorts of collars and controls. It's not going to run away from you. You could say, look, the maximum I want is 10 signals traded from the strategy, or if I hit a certain stop loss or portfolio value, then stop trading altogether. I mean, there's plenty on which to control that this isn't going to be a runaway train. But but that's like the idealized version of automated trading. It is in fact still when I use the tools, and when many others do, they're there in front of the in front of the computer. They're just I got to be more comfortable with this and watch it, and we have all kinds of controls to get you quickly out of the position, to flatten out, or to double down, or do anything else in that automated environment. And that's where development-wise we've gone. Now, other things have kind of come about, like we have an iPhone application. If you go to the iTunes store and you type in anything related to trade ideas or stocks, we have a kind of a free version of our data that we make available on the iPhone. So little projects like that have come up and stuff.
I'm going to put that on my iPhone here. That's good to know.
There you go.
So you guys are obviously doing some mobile apps, and which I think is smart. You're working with some big brokers trying to get more access there. How about training? How about some customizing of if I come in and I run a small hedge fund, I'm a $100 million hedge fund, and I'm saying, hey David, I want you to do some stuff for me, but I don't want anybody else to see it. Will you do that for me?
We do actually, and we are maybe less than a year away from coming up with a lot of, when large hedge funds, and we've been approached in the past with this kind of offer or this kind of request, which is let me design my own and let me keep them as my own strategies. We're going to the position eventually of being able to just locate a server, in your co-located facility, or either at your offices or wherever you're doing business, and having your own trade idea server performing the strategies that you want, the combinations and the pattern recognition that you want on your own server. But right now, even for anybody who says, look, when you sign up for Trade Ideas, you get an hour of training with one of our, actually he's our director of trading education. His name is Jamie Hodge, and he's a old Austin guy as well. He used to be a customer and loved the tool so much, he became a employee. And he's seen it all. He's been trading since the SO's days, and he can quickly determine, all right, this is your style. This is what you're looking for. Here's the setup, and then let it grow from there. So the custom work can be done. You just talk to us, and we can deliver the strategy for you. We're not gonna abandon anybody who signs up for the tool and starts using it. So that's why we have Jamie there. That's why we have what we call an hour of power training, and that helps flatten the learning curve of the tool.